Right, so today marks the start of week 6, and I knew I was going to stick it out, but still very surprised I can say we're on week 6. It just, I mean, it's flying in, but it's also not at the same time. Like, it's mad. Mad how time works. Anyways, we're going to start right off the bat. First day of week 6 has been really boring. We left, why did I even volunteer to say this? Garmisch-Partenkirchen, I think that's how you say it, which is where Mount Wank and Zugspitz are, well, the town nearest them. And we've driven up to Murnau am Staffelsee. I've even got my maps open so I can say that one. We did walk through town, there wasn't much to see, it doesn't help we were there like later on Saturday afternoon and all the shops had like shut. So no, I don't have any video footage today, but we're just taking it easy. We're heading to Munich tomorrow, so I should have a lot more to talk about. I drove to Munich today and we went to some botanical gardens, which were really pretty. Actually so much better than Königssee, because they're cheaper. I think it was £5.50 each, so €11 total. They were a lot quieter and it was just like a lot more variety, like had like full greenhouses full of like cacti and stuff like that, which was really cool to see. Then we went to the Dachau don't shrug at me, Dachau concentration camp, which was yeah, a bit of depression to end the day, thanks Hayden. Very somber experience, so did that like self-guided, just walking around reading all the info boards. So yeah, so both those are just basically on the outskirts of Munich, and then after that we've driven to like the outskirts of Salzburg in Austria, ready to go to Berchtesgaden tomorrow. Today we got a little boat trip from Königssee up to Salat, and then once we were at Salat we did like a little walk to Obersee, which is like another little lake, and then walked around that, and thankfully there was the most beautiful beer garden we've ever seen. How beautiful was that beer garden?
It was pretty spectacular.
Pretty spectacular. And how good was the beer?
It was good.
It's good. Right, so there you go. If you've seen Hayden's face, that's proof of life. Yeah, it was pretty damn good. Much appreciated, because it did feel like a tough slog, especially when Lucy, she pulls like a train on her lead half the time. Anyways, we reached back, got on the boat to St. Bartholomew, which is like kind of the mid-stop on the Königssee lake. Not much to see there, and also we had to be mindful of like the final like boat time back. So we walked up to like a little waterfall, a little church, not much to see, and then got back on the boat, and Lucy was falling asleep on the boat. So Lucy did have to be muzzled on all the boat trips. It's just the rules. She didn't appreciate it, she kept trying to like scratty off. Today we're on a mountain pass which has some stunning views, and we're not even at the top yet, and just keep seeing like cars like speed by, and we're struggling to get out of like second gear going up most of the hills. But I mean, you can see behind me, and then I'll spin you around so my head's not in the view. I mean, look at that. So Hayden's just going to get to the drone to do a few drone shots, and then yeah, hopefully the views at the top are even better. And the views did keep on getting better. I mean, just look at this. And the views didn't even stop once we got back down the hill, because this is where we packed up for the night. Plan of action for today is just here, because why wouldn't you just want to sit here and take all this in? And also we have been pretty non-stop lately, haven't we? Ish. So yeah, just a day off, chill in the shade under the awning, because we don't want to get burnt, we're sensible. And probably have a few bevlars. But yeah, that is all of today planned. So yeah, nice and relaxing. And so we're at Dachstein Krippenstein, I think that's how you say it. So we did the Five Fingers, which gave us a view over Hallstatt. We did the like this like little panorama point on top. And now we're on our way to the Dachstein High, or the Dachstein Shark. And it's been a wee bit snowy, just a wee bit. And I've had like the snow, like you just in falling through the snow, and I've had it like up past my knee. So just sat in a rock and I've just had to take my shoes and socks off. And there's just puddles and ice and everything in them. Oh yeah, so we're nearly at the shark. The shark is literally there. And yeah, we'll eventually make it, thank God. So we're currently sat at the restaurant at the top of Dachstein Krippenstein. Hayden is judging me because I ordered a Cola Weizen, which is beer, wheat beer, with cola in it. And it's very nice, but Hayden's just disgusted by it, aren't you?
It looks like the same colour as what comes out of your food bags.
Yeah, okay, I can see that, yeah. If you don't put enough blue in, or you put too much else in, it is the colour of what escapes the cassette toilet, if anyone's wondering. Yeah. But yeah, so we did the 5 fingers, we did the panorama thing, and then we walked all the way to the shark. My feet are so soggy because we kept falling. Like, I mean, I went crotch deep into the snow at one point. It was hilarious. I've got some videos of Hayden falling in. And then we did the ice cave tour, the giant ice cave tour, which I would say you can skip, because it was just. We never really got a lot of the information because we were at the back of the group, because there was just parades of people taking selfies, and so we were back of the guide in time to hear everything. And like he played a light show in different areas, either after we'd already left that area or before we'd even gotten to a particular area, so we couldn't really see anything. So who knows? So save yourself some money and just get the all-in-one panorama ticket. You don't need the ice cave ticket as well. But yeah, at the moment, just enjoying the sun, enjoying the views all around. Of course, I've got the best view in front of me, which is my husband. And Lucy's just, surprise, surprise, conked under the table. But yeah, that's today in a nutshell, pretty much. And we left Dachstein after our lunch/dinner and headed to a spot that Hayden had found on Park for night. We got there and some guy pulled up and dropped his trailer off next to the bins, and then knocked on and was asking Hayden if he wanted to feed the sheep, but all he was saying was sheep ham, which thankfully there was a guy with him who spoke a bit more English, who explained that. And then after Hayden was like, oh no thank you, no. He was like, oh yeah, we'll come back later for a beer. So naturally, we've driven off.
We've run away.
5 minutes back down the road. So thanks, Robert and Andy. Really appreciate that, being creeped out of a spot. I mean, they could have been friendly or anything, but yeah, it's just...
Came on really strong.
Yeah, it came on really strong. It's not the vibe we were going for today, when we just kind of want to crawl into bed and sleep. So yeah, hopefully we don't run into any more situations like that on the road, but we shall see. So we're currently on the Grossglockner High Alpine Road in Austria. And we're having a bit of a mare because the last 2 inclines that we did, we were in 3rd gear for a lot of it, and obviously steeper you go, lower gear you can be in. 2nd gear was just completely useless, completely just dead almost. We just parked outside a restaurant on the pass at the moment, and Hayden's on the phone to AA because when we plugged in our little OBD reader, it popped up with the good old NOx sensor issue again, which we were going to get to a campsite and order that part and replace it anyway, but now it's come up with a DPF regeneration frequency, which basically means that the diesel particulate filter is not regenning, which means that it's where all your emissions come through basically. it'll be getting clogged up with soot because it's not regenning. So the plan is we need to get to a campsite, get that part ordered, replace that and then force a DPF regen. But yeah, Hayden at the moment is, let's see, on the phone. We've got AA open on the laptop there. And just getting technical advice on if it's going to be safe to drive. I think if we clear the codes, it will clear limp mode, but we shall see. Aidan's just been on the phone with a very lovely Scottish man from AA, so this is the second person he spoke to. The first person we spoke to, we had to give it the location, so we were like, we're in Austria. He was like, all right, where did he start from? So we were like, we did Hull to Rotterdam. He was like, what's your final destination? Like Greece. Anyways, turns out he put in the system that we needed a recovery from one of the like outer isles of Scotland, which is why the second guy that I phoned back was Scottish. So he was just as baffled as we were that obviously, you know, we're not in Scotland. But yeah, so we've cleared the OBD. That should clear the limp mode, and we're just going to dawdle down the hill, get to this campsite, get the part ordered, and do all the change and everything that I've already talked about. So Hayden's on the phone to AA again because we cleared the codes as we were advised by the last guy we spoke to, and as soon as we set off driving, the glow plug warning lights started flashing. So now we're back on the phone trying to get a recovery, which is fun. So Austrian equivalent of AA came along and ran some diagnostics. It was absolutely lovely. And yeah, so this obviously thinks it's a sensor as well that's upset the DPF, so he's putting the VW garage onto sat nav, and we're having to head back the way that we came up here because there was like another 2 inclines to do, so obviously not what you want to be doing. I've been told we have to go down in second gear at an absolute maximum, so yeah, at least the views are still, you know, pretty stunning. We've got that much to enjoy. So what we thought was going to be a quiet, nice scenic day is, turning stressful. But we shall see how it goes, and at least we've got plenty of alcohol to drown our sorrows after. That's all I can say for that. So we survived our trek back down the mountain pass, just listening to the van, just as Hayden puts it, rag its nuts off in first and second gear is not the most pleasant thing, but we made it down. Did have to stop at one point though because the brakes were stinking, just burning out. So yeah, did make it. And now we're on a campsite. We didn't end up going to the garage that the Austrian AA guy told us to go to. I think it was just like the closest one he knew of, and it was a Porsche garage as well. And we know they will charge fortune, so we're on a campsite, quite a spenny campsite. It averages out to like €56 a night, which is a lot for us. But we're here for 4 nights, and we've ordered a new NOx sensor to get delivered. And I mean, the problem is it's going to be raining so much. So I'll just show you our pitch. It's going to be raining so much, and this is all going to get muddy, and Hayden has to climb under the van to replace an NOx sensor. So the hope is, I think I've already said this, but I have had a few bevs to de-stress. The plan is install the new sensor, and then use our little OBD reader to basically force a DPF regen, which just basically leaves the van idling. It gets it to like so many RPM, and the whole thing is it's to get the DPF like really hot, and that should burn out all the soot. But if that doesn't work for the DPF though, I mean, people do say you can get a cleaner for it, but more often than not it's a new DPF. So yeah, it's a problem for another day though. I'm just gonna enjoy my 189 bottle of rosé because it's actually the nicest drink I've had here. But yeah, so the weather's meant to turn tomorrow for like next week. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I mean, not really the way that we wanted week 6 to come towards an end. So we'll see what we get up to tomorrow. And hopefully it's a little bit better. Even if we just chill and walk around the little lake that they've got here. But we shall see. At least I can get a shower tonight. And that brings us to the end of week 6. You know, obviously a lot of bother, by which I mean just sat on a rainy campsite for half the week. And yeah, and now we've got some very grim looking expenses to go through. So, food shopping, €179.98. Campsite, 71.60. Eating out, €60. Fuel, €139.05. Souvenirs, €2.90. Things to do, €270.20. And then van/mechanical stuff, €409.25. Which brings us to our highest total of the trip, which is €1,132.98 in 1 week. But yeah, that is all for week 6. So we will see you again in week 7. Bye for now.